Hello, my people. Welcome to today's broadcast. I'm going to be discussing today the politics of religion, and I'll be advising Christians why it is important for them to protect themselves, to defend themselves against all odds. Over time, Christians in Nigeria, we have become so weak that we even lack the ability to defend ourselves today. The purpose of this, the aim of this broadcast is not to diminish the effort of Christian leaders in Nigeria who have been fighting to defend the Christian community. And this is also not an attack on Christianity. Myself, I was born into a Christian family, even though I don't actively practice religion today because of the knowledge I've acquired over time. But people have the right to practice or to believe whatever they want to believe, provided they come to the society and live peacefully with others. Our freedom is evaporating before our very eyes. Jihadists, terrorists, Islamic radicals are coming from the far north of Nigeria to colonize people. What we are witnessing in Nigeria is colonization. We are faced with genocidal war. Indigenous peoples are being displaced. People are losing their land, their heritage very fast. So I'm here to urge Christians. If you are a moderate Muslim and you don't support this war that is being waged against indigenous people by a particular tribe in Nigeria, this video is also for you. This is what I have to tell Christians. Growing up in the Christian community, Christians have a habit, I think it's what they were being told by their pastors and clergymen. They will tell you, leave all your battle to God. God will fight your fight for you. I'm telling you today, that doctrine is erroneous. Application of that doctrine in today's situation is erroneous. It's out of place. Given Nigeria's situation today, that doctrine has lost its application, its legitimacy. I'm talking about the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verses 14, where it was stated, the Israelites were told, leave your fight to God, He's going to fight for you. You only need to stand still. And the pastors, the clergymen, this is the verse they love to use to indoctrinate Christians, telling Christians not to take actions necessary to preserve themselves. A critical Christian might want to ask, under what condition am I supposed to apply this doctrine? Under what condition, under what circumstance am I supposed to allow God to fight for me? Is it when I'm being invaded by terrorists, by jihadists? Is it when my women and children can no longer travel along the road? Is it when jihadist terrorists are coming to my community to occupy me, to invade and occupy me, rape my women, prevent my children from going to school? Is it when my right to life is at stake? These are the questions a critical Christian must ask. And what type of problem should that allow God to fight for me? Under what condition? Is it when I have a physical problem of direct invasion and genocidal war? Or is it when the problem is a spiritual problem? Something abstract that I cannot see, that I have no control over. So we must learn to apply context when we read the doctrines in the Bible. Don't follow that doctrine today Because if you don't fight for your survival, if you don't fight to preserve your land and heritage, you will all become slaves. The same thing Theophilus Danjuma told you is what I'm telling you today. Myself, I'm also Theophilus. I'm telling you today to fight for yourself. Don't allow pastors who selectively read the Bible to indoctrinate you so that it becomes easy for them to exploit you. Tell you to leave all your fight to God. He's going to fight for you. Don't do anything. So every problem is a spiritual problem. And where do you go to for solutions to spiritual problem? You go to the church, the place that they call church. You go there, and when you go there, they ask you, they give you condition, pay tithe, give money for offering. There are pastors that deserve it. If you must give offering, give it to people who deserve it. Ezekiel Dachomo, for example, the Bishop of Macaulay Diocese, those are people fighting. There are others. Give to them. Because you cannot take away the significance of Christianity. Teach people morals. How to behave in the society. They will tell you this. But one thing they have refused to do, or maybe are ignorant of, is the fact that you also have to take your security seriously. So I'm here today to emphasize that. You must defend yourself. So let's go to the book of Exodus, the same Exodus, chapter 14, verse 15. The Lord said to Moses, don't cry to me. Tell the Israelites to move forward. That was a call to action. Instead of praying, the Egyptians are coming. Move forward. Instead of waiting for God to defend you, fight. They are coming with automatic rifles, very dangerous, sophisticated weapon. The people killing you, they are backed by a lot of powerful people, both within and outside Nigeria. You must understand that. Fight for your survival. Organize. Any pastor that is not willing to procure weapon and defend you, abandon that pastor. Abandon that clergyman. Those clergymen, abandon them. Don't go to their churches. Those are not churches, those are business centers. Any leader in the Christian community in Nigeria today has a responsibility to protect members of his church. So if any pastor is not telling you this, or any clergyman is not telling you this, abandon that person. It's not being realistic. He's only using you. So you must fight. You are under attack. Go and read history. If you read history, you will understand what I'm saying. The place that you call Egypt today, the people living there were black people. Most of North Africa today, the people living there were black people. They were exterminated because they took everything for granted. I know what I'm telling you. I understand history. You must be very, very smart in terms of application of the biblical doctrine. Let me give you an example. I will tell you a small story, just a brief story about Nelson Mandela. You've heard about apartheid in South Africa, the system of discrimination whereby black people were colonized in South Africa and were subjected to all forms of social and political exclusion. Nelson Mandela, the person who was spearheading their liberation struggle, he tried to negotiate with the apartheid regime in South Africa. They refused to listen. He said, okay, for this situation like this, I don't think we are going to arrive at a peaceful resolution. So I've got to do the needful. So Mandela crossed the border. He ran away from South Africa and went to other parts of the world to receive training, how to wage war, guerrilla war. So they trained Mandela and then they helped him, they gave him money and weapon. Mandela went back to South Africa and then they started bombing carrying out acts of sabotage. That was when the government took them serious and they went after him. After a very long period of time, he was finally captured and they sent him to prison. Do you know what the apartheid government in South Africa tried to do? They brought someone who support the regime, the system of slavery, someone very prominent from the church. He went to prison, to Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela was incarcerated, and he told Mandela, you call yourself a Christian and you are perpetrating violence. You see, he was trying to guilt-trip Nelson Mandela, using the Bible, the doctrine against him. But Mandela was smart enough. And Mandela told him that what about Jesus Christ? That when people turn the house of God into a business center, he went there with a cane to flog them. Does that make him a violent person? Nelson Mandela is a critical thinker. Today, the Christian community in Nigeria is as if it's a crime to ask questions. You are not allowed to ask questions, to question anything that someone says from the pulpit. That's our problem. I was in Nigeria. Then the pastor, I think of Redeemed Christian Church of God, Adeboye, he came up with one announcement that if you don't pay tithe, you will not go to heaven. I told people who go to church around me, when they brought the information to me, I said, he's lying to you. Tithe, the concept of tithe, is even an outdated practice in the Bible. So for him to say that if you don't pay tithe, you will not go to heaven, he's just lying to you. That man is a businessman. I was vindicated years after. Adeboye came out. He withdrew his statement. He said, no, I made a mistake. Tithe is an outdated practice in the Bible. And some of my friends who argued in his favor and tried to see me as an antichrist then, one of them called me and was like, this is what Adeboye said though. You said that in that time, we didn't listen to you. I said, why would you listen to me? You know me very well. You said I don't go to church. When I tell you go to business center, you don't believe it. So that is it. There is a sense in which the Bible could be used as a weapon against you. More often than not, the place you call church is a bush where people hide to exploit you. You must be sensitive enough to identify these people and reject them. Don't allow anybody to make all your problems spiritual problems and then ask you to come to church for solution. If you have a wound that is infected, you need to go to the hospital and get healed. Meet a doctor to prescribe antibiotics for you. Go to the hospital, let them wash that wound, and then you get healed. It is God who has given the brain to people in the hospital to be able to treat you. It is still God that is at work. So there is no conflict between science and God. The brain to treat people is given to those doctors and nurses by God. So there is no conflict at all. It is not every problem that is a spiritual problem. Go read what is written in the book of Matthew. Matthew chapter 10 verse 16. Christians were told, I am sending you as sheep to live among wolves. Therefore, you must be as wise as the serpent and as gentle as the dove. Some of you might want to ask, why is God asking one individual to be as wise as the serpent and then as gentle as the dove? Is this not contradiction? No, there is no contradiction there. It's telling you to be situational in your approach. That the way you handle issues depends on the circumstance, the presentation. If a person is peaceful and wants to live with you, live with that person peacefully. If an individual is violent and is trying to conquer and invade you, enslave you, you have to fight that person with every ounce. You have to be as strategic as the serpent. You have to be as strategic as the terrorists, the jihadists coming to invade and occupy you. You have to be as ruthless as these jihadists, these terrorists. You are too soft, and they see that as a weakness. That is why they come to your community. I love the people in the southeast of Nigeria. They don't mess around. They appreciate the enormity of what is happening in the north, how dangerous these people are. The Yorubas are romanticizing with this issue. They're having a taste of it now. The teacher was beheaded in Yoruba land recently. That is the version of Islam they want to take to Yoruba land. Terrorism. So please, my people, this is not an attack on the Christian faith. And if you see this as an attack on the Christian faith, I apologize. But I was born into a Christian family, and I'm trying to tell you that the joy of Christianity is that there is room for questioning. In the Bible, it was stated, even the biblical God, if you have a case against me, bring it on. You can even question the biblical God. It's there in the Bible. Go and read it. In the Old Testament. But other religion, you dare not ask critical questions. Because if you ask, you are accused of blasphemy, and the next thing is they hang you, they kill you. So the joy of Christianity is the ability to ask critical questions. So I am taking advantage of that now in this my presentation. So go back to your community and organize. Defend your land. That is all you have. Don't wait for anybody from within or outside the country to come defend you. Be political in your orientation. Don't approach every issue with morality. The people coming to your land have interest. It's political. But they are using religion as a tool, as a means to achieve that objective, that their interest, which is to take over your land. So don't see things from the perspective of morality and say, this thing these people are doing is wrong. Why are they doing it? No. The person that is pursuing his interest is not a moral being. So you must change from being moral to become a person of interest. A person who pursues his interest. Pursue your interest too, which is self-preservation. Become political. Don't listen to pastors who are telling you that you have to pray and fast when you are faced with existential threat. That is my message to you today. I am going to do an expose on the concept of tithe. I will do a video, and the broad focus of that video will be tithe. The concept of tithe. So, become politically conscious. Don't wait for God to fight for you. Know when to wait for God to fight for you. Fight when you have to fight. In Exodus chapter 14 verse 15, God told Moses, don't cry to me. Tell the Israelites to move forward. It was a call to action. You must defend yourself. If you don't, people from other civilizations will colonize you. Colonialism is very horrible. You don't want to be colonized. You don't want to be enslaved. Don't accept it. Buy a weapon. Don't give tithe to all these pastors who are not defending you. Buy a weapon. Use your money to acquire a weapon. Become security conscious. The little resources you have, use your forest. Go to your forest. Comb the forest. If anybody is living there and the person is not living legally, do the needful. Because they are the ones that harbor terrorists who kidnap our people. Please, my people, you must defend yourself. Come together, present a united front. Anybody, even if the person is not a member of your faith, and the individual is also a victim of this terrorist, if the person is prepared to work with you, support that person. Like the Hausas, for example, in northern Nigeria, over the years they have erred accommodating these terrorists. Today they realize that they made a mistake. When they come to you, try to support them, but be vigilant. Become political. Become very, very political. Not everything is morality. Please, thank you very much for your time, and I see you in my next video.